बाद आपका स्वागत है। तो इजराइल हमास युद्ध से जुड़ी एक और बड़ी जानकारी, जिसमें एक बड़ा सवाल उठ रहा है कि जिन लोगों को हमास ने बंधक बनाकर रखा है उनका क्या होगा। अब पीएम नेतन्याहू के प्रवक्ता ने इस पर कहा है कि बंधकों को छुड़ाना हमारी प्राथमिकता है। बंधकों के साथ बर्बर बर्ताव हो रहा है। पूरी दुनिया इस जंग में हमारा साथ दे। हमास पूरी दुनिया के लिए खतरा बना हुआ है और हमारी प्रायोरिटी है कि जो बंधक हैं उन्हें बचाया जाए, उन्हें सेफली वापस लाया जाए और पूरी दुनिया से कह रहे हैं कि इस जंग में हमारा साथ दे।
Sir, biggest challenge I think before Israel is not just about finishing Hamas, totally dismantling its structure, but also to get back your hostages safe and secure. How are you going to ensure that your Israeli civilians, citizens, those who have been taken hostage, are brought back safe?
I'm very glad that you're mentioning the fate of the more than 200 Israeli hostages, could be as high as 400 inside the Gaza Strip, because I think some in the international media think that the story has moved on, and it hasn't. There are 30 children. I'm talking babies, dragged out of their cots, sometimes their parents shot in front of them, sitting in a dungeon, in a tunnel somewhere, tied up without medication, without basic humanitarian conditions, being held by a brutal terrorist organization that butchered whole families, beheaded people, set whole families on fire and killed them that way. And it is a top priority for Israel to get the safe return of our hostages. We're demanding their immediate and unconditional return. And we're also demanding that the Red Cross have immediate access to them. This is not conditional, and this is a basic humanitarian demand that we are expecting the world to back us in placing pressure on the Red Cross to demand access to our hostages inside the Gaza Strip, because there is absolutely no excuse for dragging civilians, babies, out of their beds and holding them hostage. And we will do whatever is necessary to bring them home safely.
Mr. Levy, I would like to know your reflections, your opinion on the role being played by Russia, China. We have seen Russia in a way threatening Israel that you do not, further escalate the war there. What do you think about the role China and Russia are playing?
What we expect from the international community is complete solidarity with our right and duty to defend ourselves. What happened on the morning of the 7th of October was a war crime, a crime against humanity. When Hamas invaded us, butchered our people, it still continues to shoot more than 7,000 rockets at Israel. And I think the enlightened world, the free world, understands the need to destroy Hamas and eliminate this evil once and for all. Just as President Joe Biden said yesterday in this extraordinary, rare address from the Oval Office, history teaches us that when terrorists are allowed to commit acts of terror and get away with it, they are only emboldened to continue killing and destroying more people. And that is our demand from everyone in the international community, to stand by Israel's side in the darkest of hours, in our darkest hour, as we dismantle the evil ISIS-like organization that perpetrated the atrocities of the 7th of October. That is our demand of everyone in the international community.
तो इजराइल की तरफ से ये कहा जा रहा है कि जो बंधक बनाए गए हैं उनको छुड़ाना हमारी पहली प्राथमिकता है। और भी तमाम सवालों के जवाब किस तरीके से इजराइल सरकार की तरफ से एबीपी न्यूज पर दिए गए हैं वो आपको हम बता रहे हैं। बंधक जो बनाए हैं हमास के आतंकियों ने, उनको छुड़ाना हमारी सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। इस वक्त बंधकों के साथ बर्बर बर्ताव हमास कर रहा है, बर्बर व्यवहार उनके साथ हो रहा है और साथ ही पूरी दुनिया इस जंग में हमारा साथ दे, ये भी कहा है इजराइल की तरफ से प्रधानमंत्री नेतन्याहू के प्रवक्ता ने। और साथ ही उन्होंने ये कहा कि जो बंधक बनाए गए हैं उनको छुड़ा लिया जाएगा।
We haven't seen Russia and China taking such positions, sir. Do you think it's unfortunate?
That is our demand of everyone in the international community. And I think unfortunate is an understatement for any nation that is not standing shoulder to shoulder with Israel, building a coalition of civilized states determined to eradicate this evil. And we've been quite clear. Hamas's hatred is not just for Jews. Its charter says it wants to murder all the Jews. It's not just for Israel. It's a hatred for everything really in the world. And we're not alone. And it's not going to end with us. And if the world doesn't consolidate around Israel in our just campaign to destroy Hamas, then it's going to come for other countries too.
तो हमास को ईरान और हिजबुल्लाह का समर्थन है, ये कहा जा रहा है इजराइल की तरफ से। इजराइल सरकार एबीपी न्यूज पर क्या कहा है इस पूरे युद्ध को लेकर। हिजबुल्लाह ईरान भी हमास के साथ है, ये इजराइल की तरफ से देखिए अपना स्टैंड रखा गया, ये बात कही गई। बंधकों के साथ बर्बर बर्ताव हो रहा है और इसी के साथ ही ये भी बताया कि हमास को जो समर्थन मिल रहा है वो ईरान का और हिजबुल्लाह का भी मिल रहा है, और साथ ही पूरी दुनिया से अपील की है कि इस जंग में हमारा साथ दें, क्योंकि हमास पूरी दुनिया के लिए खतरा है। इजराइल पूरी दुनिया से समर्थन की मांग कर रहा है इस मुद्दे को लेकर।
How sure are you of Iranian role behind Iranian support to Hamas in this particular attack, sir?
Iran is Hamas's patron. That is not a secret. Iran funds almost all of Hamas's, almost the entirety of Hamas's budget. They are part of a close alliance together with Hezbollah in Lebanon, an axis of evil, of destruction and chaos that stretches around the Middle East and threatens the moderate countries that want to build prosperity in the region.
And you think Iran and Hezbollah both were hand in gloves with Hamas this time in this particular attack, sir?
Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas are entirely coordinated, and we saw just after this attack them meeting publicly, and we know they're coordinated. And if I can just add, from your perspective, please. In India, I remember just a few months ago we saw the exciting announcement at the G20, the incredible initiative to link India via Saudi Arabia, via Israel to Europe,
yes,
with
of course.
a transportation corridor to promote India's prosperity and development. And the attack that we saw on the 7th of October and the Iranian axis with Hezbollah and Hamas sowing destruction across the Middle East are a direct attack on that vision of prosperity and development, because these aren't countries that want to see the prosperous economies of the Middle East link up with India and the broader world in order to improve everyone's lives. They want to export their own violent, evil, twisted version of religion and to embitter everyone's lives. And
तो एबीपी न्यूज पर इजराइल की सरकार की बात आपने सुनी। अब आगे बढ़ते हैं, आपको दिखाते हैं इस वक्त की हेडलाइंस।
हेडलाइंस प्रेजेंटेड बाय कैच मसाले, क्योंकि खाना सिर्फ खाना नहीं होता। सह प्रायोजक अंबा शक्ति SDTMT।